Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Secrets. I'm your host Mohammed Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia, and the co-author of New Success Secrets available on Amazon. On this episode, we have a special guest, Kevin Knebl. Kevin is an author, international speaker, trainer, coach, and social selling, marketing, relationship marketing specialist. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Kevin Knebl. Kevin, welcome.
Thank you, Mohammed. I hope things are going well in beautiful Atlanta.
Wonderful. It's amazing. Thank you so much. Let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who were you surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
Well, what I'm doing today is I'm delivering value to my clients and everybody that crosses my path. So when I wake up in the morning, I understand that my success during the day is completely related to my ability to deliver value to other people. So as I go through my day, I'm always in a service mindset. Who can I serve and how can I help them in their life in whatever way that means? So when you say, where were you? I'm in Colorado Springs, Colorado. What happened? I woke up this morning, and as they say in New Jersey, any day you wake up without a chalk line around your body is a good day. Who was I surrounded with? I'm surrounded with friends and family. And what inspired me to do today, to do what I'm doing? I don't take life for granted. So when I wake up every day, I give thanks for another day and I immediately go into a service mindset.
What are the top three reasons why do people fail?
I can only think of one. And really, the number one reason why people fail is because they don't understand how thought works. Most people study the content of their thoughts, but they don't understand thought itself. So I know this probably sounds a little bit woo-woo, but I'm not trying to be woo-woo. When people deepen their understanding of how the mind and thought works, they'll have a shift in how they think about failure. And I'm not talking about semantics here. I'm not trying to put a positive spin on things. There really is no such thing as failure. Failure is not... There are actions and there are results. That's as simple as it can be. So now the way we look at at actions and results might be different, but I don't really fail at anything. I do an action, a result happens, either what I wanted to happen happens, or something else happens and I learn a lesson. So I left the world of failure many years ago. Most people, if you were to ask them what are the top three reasons why people fail, most people would say, oh, they didn't set goals, or oh, they didn't try hard enough, or oh, it's always 1,000 reasons. But really, life is simple. Life is not complex. The way we think about life can be complex, but life itself is pretty simple. So the answer to your question is, why do people fail? Because number one, they believe in failure, and therefore it's an option. I don't believe in failure. I believe in outcomes after activities. I'm either going to succeed in what I want and what I try to accomplish, or I'm going to learn a lesson. Either way, I benefit.
What is your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from it?
My greatest failure story. Wow, my greatest failure story. When I first got into sales back in 1992, prior to that, I had been a piano player in the New York area. So I knew nothing about business. I knew nothing about sales. And when I first got into sales, I had a perception that I would have to become a certain type of person because I had this idea of what a salesperson was. And that made me very nervous because I did not want to stop being a caring, compassionate human being. Now, this sounds crazy, but my perception was if you were going to succeed in sales and business, you had to become very cutthroat. You had to become very bottom line. You just had to become very manipulative and that type of thing. I was blessed. And so I struggled in the beginning and I failed a lot. Okay. I'm going to use the word failure, even though 2 minutes ago we discussed the failure thing. Okay. So I struggled in the beginning, but then I had some mentors that taught me that long-term success in business and long-term success in sales doesn't really come down to your closing skills or anything like that. It really comes down to your ability to sincerely connect with other human beings. So I went and I got a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People, written by Dale Carnegie back in 1936. And that book is full of human principles, really just how to get along with other human beings better. So I read the book and then I reread it and I reread it and I read it so many times that I memorized all of the 30 principles in that book. And I went from never having sold a thing in my life to not that many years later, I was blessed to be the top salesperson for 4 different companies in 4 different industries, including being the top salesperson in the world for an international consulting company with over 350 salespeople in 15 countries. So I guess my greatest failure story is that I had a perception that you had to be a certain way in business and sales. And I failed because I tried to be that way, which was very uncomfortable. It was very insincere and inauthentic. Then I realized if I just was myself and I really focused on connecting with other people in a sincere and authentic way, that things would probably work out. And they did. And now for the last 30 years or so, I'm not saying that life has been a bed of roses. I have challenges in my life just like everybody else does. But all in all, I've learned that if you really show up with a service attitude and you really focus on how can you serve other people and you play a long-term game called life, that long-term things tend to work out pretty well. Does that make sense, Mohammed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your top 3 success secrets that others can model from?
A great question. So number one, it would be very good for the people watching this, and hi people watching this, and hi people in the future that are watching this recording. A success secret would be to understand that number one, all things being equal, people will do business with and refer business to people that they know, like, and trust. I speak all around the world, and every person I've ever said that to on every stage around the world, whether I'm on a stage, whether I'm on a podcast, whether I'm on television, whether I'm working with a coaching client, I've never met anyone stupid enough to disagree with the statement that all things being equal, people will do business with and refer business to people they know, like, and trust. But here's the point I want to make. Everybody intellectually understands that that's true, but that by no means means that they have an experiential understanding of that. So my top success secret would be deepen your understanding, not intellectually, but experientially out in the world, that all things being equal, people will do business with and refer business to people who they know, like, and trust. If a person really understands that, they will invest their time in figuring out how to be more knowable, likable, and trustable in a sincere way, not in a manipulative, persuasive kind of way. And again, I alluded to this 5 minutes ago when I talked about how to win friends and influence people. If a person really focuses on that book and other similar books, they are going to get a black belt in know, like, trust, what I call the KLT factor, know, like, trust. The reason why people struggle in business is not because they don't understand their product or service or anything like that. Because if just look around at the world, there's a bajillion people that are experts at their product or service, but they still struggle. So apparently, just being an expert at your product or service is no guarantee of success. What's pretty much a guarantee of success is being an expert at your product or service combined with deepening your understanding on how to sincerely and authentically connect with other people. It sounds like what I'm saying is ridiculously obvious, and it is. But the irony is that even though it's obvious, people don't see it. It's right in their face and they don't see it. I have countless entrepreneurs, business owners that come to me for coaching, and they're already great at whatever it is they do for a living. I'm not going to help them with that. That's not my expertise. My expertise is know, like, trust. What I do is I show them how there are many things they do all day long innocently that literally shoot themselves in the foot, but they don't realize they're shooting themselves in the foot. So my number one success secret would be deepen your understanding on an experiential level, that all things being equal, people will do business with and refer business to people they know, like, trust. I guess a second success secret would be, whether you realize it or not, your attitude conveys a feeling. Now, most people have never thought of this before. Most people are so intellectual that they think, well, I know this and I know that, and that should cause the world to beat a path to my door. Well, look around. Is the world beating a path to your door? Well, probably not. Well, then apparently just knowing this or knowing that is not the answer. Showing up with a good attitude. And I'm not trying to say be a Pollyanna and all that. I'm not. I'm just saying, you know what? People have enough crap in their own lives. They don't need Muhammad's crap. They don't need Kevin's crap. They got enough crap of their own. What you want to be is you want to be a light in the darkness. This world can be very, very dark, especially now with all the stuff that's going on with the pandemic and everything else. Most people could use a little bit of light in the darkness. So anytime you're interacting with another human being, whether it's face-to-face, on a telephone call, on a Zoom meeting, email, I don't care what it is, ask yourself, am I being a light? Am I bringing something positive into this conversation, even if it's just a smile? Even if it's just a little bit better attitude. Again, that might sound a little naive. I can assure you it's not naive. I've made millions and millions and millions of dollars, not because I'm some Pollyanna, but because I understand that the world has enough darkness. I need to be a light in the darkness. Moths like to go to the light. They like to go to the light bulb. Well, that's what you need to be in a world that tends to be dark. And the third success secret, give thanks every day. Be grateful. Develop a habit of gratitude. Because, all in all, I don't care what's going on in your life. No offense. I'm not trying to be callous. But you know what? Look around at the world. If you're watching this broadcast right now that Muhammad is putting on, and thank you for doing this, Muhammad. If you're watching this right now, you're blessed. There's a lot of people in this world right now that are suffering a heck of a lot worse than you and I are. So I would encourage you to develop an attitude of gratitude. Get up every morning, give thanks for another day, and when you go to bed at night, look back at your day. You're going to have some good things that happen. You're going to have some not so good things that happen. Hey, welcome to the human race. But get on your knees and give thanks, because all in all, you're very, very blessed. Does that make sense, Muhammad?
Yep. What motivates you within?
Well, I think we've been touching on that. What motivates me within is understanding that I'm blessed. I'm very blessed. And here's the key. No matter what's going on in my life, whether it seems good or whether it seems bad, I'm blessed. I mean, think about it. People complain so much about so many stupid things. I mean, just look back over your life. Welcome to the human race. Get up every day and realize, you know what? I'm not living under a bridge. I'm not homeless. I'm not, fighting people for a piece of food. You are blessed. But we're not trained to think that way in this society. We're trained to look around and compare. Oh, he's doing better than me and she's got this that I want. When you think that way, you're not going to have a great life. I get up every day and I stopped counting my life in years a long time ago. This is going to sound funny, folks, but many years ago, I stopped counting my life in years the way most people, if you ask them, how old are you? They'll tell you, oh, I'm 25 years old or I'm 75 years old. Today is my 20,832nd day alive. That's not a joke. Every morning, I give thanks for another day and I count my life in days. I know that, I'm aware of how many years old I am. I'm not stupid. But years ago, I said to myself, why don't I live my life in day-tight compartments? Because if I focus on having the best day that I can, and then I string enough good days together, I'll probably have a pretty good life, right? So I started counting my life in days many years ago, and today is my 20,832nd day alive, and that motivates me.
What is your company's motto?
My company's motto. I don't know that I have a company motto. If anything, it would be all things being equal, people will do business with and refer business to people they know, like, and trust. But let me also mention, I didn't come up with that. There's a gentleman named Bob Burg, B-U-R-G, who said that probably 30, 35 years ago. And I heard it about 30 years ago, and that changed my life. So I'm not a plagiarizer. I don't take credit for other people's content. I will absolutely give all credit to Bob Burg. When I heard that statement, not just intellectually, but experientially, that changed my life. So, Mohammed, I don't know that I have a company motto so much, but if I did, that would probably be it.
Who is your ideal client?
Somebody that wants something in life. Now, that sounds vague. That's not vague. I have people that come to me with all kinds of issues. Okay, let me go back one step. I'm an international speaker, author, trainer, and coach. When it's not COVID, I'm typically asked to speak in about one city per week, someplace around the world. But for the last 2 years, the world has been pretty much shut down. So I have not spoken on a stage since March 3rd of 2020. But I get on my knees and I thank God, because even though the world shut down, that just opened more coaching opportunities. So for the last 2 years, I've been coaching my butt off. I've been asked to deliver countless webinars. A lot of the work that I do is actually in the financial services industry, even though I didn't plan it that way. But I do work with people across many, many different industries. So I don't know that I have an ideal client. I guess my ideal client would be somebody who wants something in life. They're not quite sure how to get it. And what I do as a coach is I help people get more out of themselves than they can get out of themselves on their own. So that's really what a good coach does. So my ideal client is somebody who doesn't just say, I want this or I want that. They're willing to put a little bit of effort into it, and they're willing to be coached. And in reality, success is so much more easy than most people understand. So what I do is I help people accomplish what they want to accomplish, as long as they're coachable. Does that make sense, Mohammed?
Yeah. How do you find your ideal client?
I don't. They find me. I've done no marketing or advertising ever. My business has always been 99% by invitation and referral only. Now, folks, a lot of people, when I say that, they think I'm being egotistical. I'm not being egotistical. I'm giving you a fact. I do no marketing. I do no advertising, and I have more people trying to work with me than I have time in the day. That sounds arrogant. That's not arrogant. It's just evidence that what I teach works. I didn't go to Muhammad and ask to be interviewed. Muhammad found me. Okay. If you looked at my client list, you would see that every single company I've ever been asked to speak for, every coaching client I've ever been asked to work with, every single one of them came to me because I understand the principle of all things being equal. People will do business with and refer business to people they know, like, and trust. Think about it, folks. If you have to go out and find clients, let that sink in for a second. If you're so damn good at what you think you're good at, shouldn't they be finding you? What an interesting way to think. We live in a world where everybody and their brother is a so-called marketing expert, right? If they're so good at marketing, why do they have to convince you to allow them to market for you? Shouldn't you be going to them? You can always tell a tree by the fruit it bears. So what people need to understand is they need to figure out how to become visible, how to deliver value. And if you are good at that, and I assure you, I can help you with that, and it's easier than you think. If you become visible, you create evidence that you're good at what you do, and you're good at creating conversations around know, like, trust, you will never worry about your next client or your next engagement or your next sale. I know that sounds crazy, but the world would convince you that business is difficult. You know who says business is difficult? Broke people. Stop listening to broke people, okay? Stop listening to people that are struggling, that are trying to tell you how to succeed. That's like going to a 600-pound man and asking for exercise advice. That makes no sense. What you want to do is you want to find the people that are succeeding and they're having fun at it. Fun is one of the keys, folks. I know this might sound silly. It's not silly. Have you ever noticed that when you have fun, you tend to be successful at something? Look around at the world. Most people look like they've been sucking on a lemon their entire life. They're about as much fun as a root canal. What you want to find is somebody that's good at what they do, and they have a good attitude, and they understand how to have fun. So I don't find ideal clients. Ideal clients find me, Mohammed.
How do you handle rejections?
What's rejection? What does that mean? What does that mean, Mohammed?
You're trying to work with someone and they say no to you, and then how you handle it?
I don't. I just go work with somebody else. You see, the reason why people struggle in business is because they don't have enough conversations going on with enough people. I know that sounds simple. It is simple. The number one reason why people struggle in business isn't because they're not good at what they do. It's because they don't have enough conversations going with enough people at the same time. And because they don't have enough conversations going with enough people, they resort to manipulative sales techniques that are ridiculous. They don't work. Think about this. If you have enough conversations going with enough people at the same time, you naturally relax because you don't have this gun to your head. Oh, I got to make my mortgage payment. Oh, I know this sounds simple. It is. By the way, let me ask your audience something. Have you ever had any challenge in any area of your life, financial, relationships, spiritual, health? Have you ever had any challenge that you solved by adding complexity to it? You haven't. All of the solutions went back to simplicity. The key is to remain simple in a seemingly complex world. That's the key. Get enough conversations going with enough people, and you don't need to worry about rejection.
How do you handle an angry client?
I don't have angry clients. Why would my clients be angry? If I show up with with an attitude of service, and I'm a pleasure to be around because I understand know, like, trust, why would my clients be angry?
What you want to do when you grow up?
I hope I never grow up. right? Most, adults are just kids with long, hairy legs. Adults are just kids with long, hairy legs. Yes, I'm not a kid anymore. I've got a beard that's got gray in it. I understand that. But let me tell you something. I'm a kid at heart. I am a kid at heart. And that's a key to success. So I have no aspirations of ever growing up. I don't even know what growing up means. So, the key is to die young as late as possible. That's the key. Die young as late as possible. I was having dinner last night with some friends, and they were telling me about a friend of theirs who's 102 years old. This woman is 102 years old, and she still is a pleasure to be around. She still works. She still has dinner parties. Now, that's somebody who's going to die as a kid at an old age. Okay. So I don't want to grow up, Muhammad. Don't wish that on me, brother.
What is the advice you will give to younger yourself?
The advice I would give to my younger self is don't take it all so damn seriously. Don't take it all so damn seriously. Have fun. Figure out what you like doing, because what you like doing is a key to what you should be doing. And then, because if you don't enjoy what you do, if you don't, in terms of work, if you don't enjoy what you do for work, you're doing the wrong thing. Okay. So figure out what it is you enjoy doing. Understand that what you enjoy doing, there's a reason why you enjoy what you enjoy doing. What you enjoy doing, somebody else doesn't enjoy doing. So what you want to do is figure out how to monetize what you enjoy doing. I guarantee you, there is nothing under the sun that you enjoy doing that you couldn't monetize. Now, that's another interview about how do you monetize this or that. But number one, if you enjoy doing something, there's a reason why you enjoy it. And there's other people that will pay you to do it for them or to help them do it. So my advice to my younger self would be, don't take it all so serious, Kev. Figure out what it is you enjoy doing. Learn some concepts on how to monetize what you enjoy doing, and go enjoy your life. That would be my advice to my younger self.
Kevin, how can we support you?
Well, thank you for asking. I don't really know the answer to that. I would just say that if anybody's watching this either live now or in the future, if you feel that a conversation with me might be valuable to you, give me a call, look me up. I'm not hard to find. I'm not in the witness relocation program. You don't have to have an agenda. If you call me or email me and ask, hey, Kevin, I'd like to have a conversation with you, I can assure you, you are not going to get some thinly veiled sales pitch from me. You're not going to get some elevator pitch for my sir. By the way, amateurs have elevator pitches. Okay. Professionals have heart-centered conversations. So here's my answer to your question, Mohammed. I don't have an agenda. My only agenda is how can I deliver value? So if somebody watching this feels, I think I'd like to have a conversation with this guy, call me up. I'll schedule a conversation with you. I won't charge you a nickel, right? I have conversations with people all day long. Some of those conversations lead to business. Some of them don't. I don't care. My job is to deliver value. When I show up and I deliver value, the money thing takes care of itself. So thank you for asking, Mohammed. If anybody ever wants to have a conversation with me, email me, call me, send me smoke signals, whatever you want to do. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you.
Thank you so much, Kevin. We are about to wrap up. I'd like to have a few words about your today's guest experience on the show. Here's my question. What would you say about your today's guest experience on the show?
Well, I would say that you were a pleasure to speak with. You're very professional. You're very warm and friendly. And I appreciate you doing the work to make this, all work with StreamYard and all the technical stuff that goes on behind the scenes. So I would encourage people, if you have a way to work with Mohammed, have a conversation with Mohammed, because it seems to me that Muhammad and I probably think a lot alike. We want to serve, we want to deliver value, we want to be a light in an often dark world, and we're here to help people. So my guest, I've been interviewed countless times on television, radio, podcasts, whatever, but Muhammad is a class act. And if you have an opportunity to work with him in some way, I would do it.
What would you say as a final word?
God bless and enjoy your life. You were created for happiness. You were not created to struggle. You were created to succeed. And succeed is probably closer than success is probably closer than you even realize. So enjoy your life, deliver value, and be a blessing to others. That would be my final word.
Thank you so much, Kevin, for sharing your wisdom with us today on the behalf of Growth Hacking Secrets community and our entire team. We really appreciate you. This is Mohammed Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. Until the next episode, all good wishes.
Thank you, Mohammed. God bless.